Well, hello and welcome everybody. This is pretty much my first ever YouTube stream, so we're gonna be doing something a little bit interesting for my foray. Well, I wouldn't say this is my first actual live stream on YouTube since I've done one before on a different channel. However, this is the first legitimate live stream on me as a VTuber now, and on top of that, just want to be able to have something to show for, since the last thing I did was mostly like a gameplay stream since Switch was down. So this whole voice acting process thing, I have been mulling over it just a bit. Let me see if I could actually get the chat to. Wait, I think it should work on. Yeah, I should manage on Streamlabs too. Let me see. I should have done that way before then. I also should have done that way before. Okay, and let me mess around with that real quick. Now, hopefully this chat can actually translate to. Wait, why does it seem like there's. Oh, yeah. I have to mess around with that one. Well, I should have done this long before. Honestly. Yeah, I should have done this long before. I'll kind of mess around along the way. Maybe even try something in the middle of doing all this jazz. Source. Alright, now I could just do some minor adjustments. And I'm just knock these out too. So, the point of today is to really practice a special kind of style. a special kind of style that would also yeah, current a kind of style that most people had kind of voted for, but also I wanted to do on my own time as well. But I wanted to kind of break things down just for everybody else to kind of see exactly how or what I'm trying to aim for. So it'll be easier to follow along and also can get an idea of what I want to bring to the table. So today, as you probably saw in the thumbnail, I'm going for more of a Super Robot War style. And it's quite the energetic style if you look at certain characters. Maybe in some areas it's a lot more hot blood than others, depending on which characters you look at. But I'll provide a bit of a sample size. The audio bit rate. Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm probably gonna have to mess around with too. $128. All right, that should be good now. Or I probably wasn't running into many issues, just YouTube bellyaching about the current audio stream, audio bitrate. But nevertheless, I've been kind of thinking about it. In fact, I've been thinking about it ever since I was away from home base when I was in Texas. Well, mostly due to a business trip. What kind of ways can I further grow as a voice actor as well as a VTuber as well? So, best thing that came to mind, certainly the best thing that came to mind, was doing this kind of practice stream. But also want to show how I have like a bit of a, or lack thereof, of a process that I have in mind whenever I'm planning on doing more of these. It may be easier to break down with some other games, especially the ones that I have in mind, or some genres of games. So it gives me a lot more breathing room to think about certain ways I can approach it. So I do want to provide a bit of a sample, if you will. So let me just get things set up. We're gonna watch an attack video. That's the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna watch an attack video, get a good idea of the structure of it all, and most importantly, break down each and every step. Each and every step. And I'm gonna start with Kyosuke, because I think he's probably the best character for doing this kind of thing, to kind of get an idea of what his whole arc is when it comes to how he voices things. If anything, he has a good amount of high, mid, and low to really exemplify that. So let me just put this on stream. Should I go OG or? Hmm. Yeah, let's go OG. I'm gonna switch to here. I'm just gonna break this down since it's also a short video too. Okay, so on the first bit, we have the setup. Sometimes it could be a little bit of trash talk. Sometimes it might be addressing the moment in front of them. Sometimes it's even just a generic gesture that they have. It all depends on the circumstances that they're presented in. This is the setup, or pretty much the appetizer. And this changes for every attack that is done, too. The simpler the attack, the less that's said. However, the flashier the attacks get, the more lines are pretty much thrown into the mix. So stuff like the fibro machine gun that he has, of course, is going to have much more simpler lines. But now we have the setup, then the action. Setup, then action. And as we go further and further in, there's like more and more added to the dish. And I'm going to use this analogy pretty often too, because it makes sense. You get treated with the appetizer. It's usually small, very sizable. Then you have I would say maybe the secondary entree. It was just a bunch of other smaller, maybe more sizable appetizers that is a bit more filling because there's a lot more to it. All right, setup. Now it's been enhanced since it's a much flashier attack that's going to happen. And this is one of his signature attacks too. One of his signatures. Now we have going from setup to action. And the delivery. Or maybe should I put it this way? There's setup, and then there's the delivery. The payoff usually comes with a more pronounced attacks. And there's the payoff. The payoff is right there. We got the appetizer, the entree, and then the dessert. The dessert is always going to be sweeter at the end of each and every flashy attack. Now, this is a special case where we have the hors d'oeuvres, then the appetizer. Then everything just kind of piles on over until we get the sweet, sweet finish. And there's a nice little back and forth banter between the two. And that's usually the case with either Excellent and Kyosuke, Ciola and Arado, and Ratzel and Sanger. Basically any two-man team. The only one that kind of strays away from it is the R formation, is because they're all kind of going in sequence. But the same principle is still there. We have the setup. Now we have the delivery. And you see, like, there's little bits of added character thrown into the mix. Think of it as like the garnish to the dish. You may not think it's special, but it adds a certain kind of flavor to the interactions between the two. And the payoff. So, see how that kind of structures out? It's very easy to follow along, too. We have the setup, then the delivery, then the payoff in some circumstances. And it all scales depending on the kind of attack that's being done. The kind of attack that's being done can scale depending on very simple to very flashy. Though you want to get more out of the flashier attacks, even with like some of the most specific interactions too. It's important to get that point. So, why does that relate to me in this situation? Why am I doing this? Well, considering my lore of my VTuber character, I exist in pretty much a different kind of continuity or a different kind of existence in the Super Robot Wars universe. That's how it usually plays out. And while I don't have the design for the mech, I have some things in mind that really does help sell the idea. Because I already have the name for it. I already have an idea of what kind of weapons and how I'm pretty much going to exemplify that. The best way I could probably do that is through the the voice acted lines that I have in mind. Now, bear with me because I haven't written them down. This is just all something that just comes off the top of my head. But at the same time, it'd also be a nice little opportunity for me to just figure out the proper structure for these kind of videos and these kind of streams, so it'll be easier for anybody else to kind of follow along. And boy, I have a lot of things in mind. Lots and lots of things in mind. If anything, I might just do the recordings along the way and just see how that works. Because maybe this might become like a voice pack for someone else to use somewhere down the line. Just saying. So, you're going to notice something a little different. I'm going to be switching to a different kind of interface instead of the Go XLR because there might be a noticeable point where I would have a lot of interference with the way I have my Go XLR set up. So you're gonna see some things that may or may not work. So just bear with me here. So I'm just gonna get things set up, gonna bring up Audacity. And each line I will kind of make note of it in the name. I will make note of it in the name. I just hope that Audacity doesn't do that thing where my audio interface just suddenly does not work. I think that usually happens whenever I just plug in the mic into it while I have the program up. I hope to God that doesn't happen to be the case, but I feel like that will be if I'm not careful. So, let me, I also got to mess around with Discord too, since this is how I'm using it to light up my avatar whenever I speak. All right, so just give me a moment. This is going to take me some time, and I'll be right with y'all. Okay, now we got something different. Okay. Oh, I think I'm peeking a little bit too much. All right. Oh, I'm feeding back a little bit too much. Well, that should be good. All right, maybe I can implement those filters that I have too. Actually, it does sound pretty good. Okay, this should be better now. Or just a little bit more. So you'll notice that it's a bit more sensitive than the last time. A bit more sensitive than what I had before. And I may or may not have to put on the volume warning just in case, because I don't know if anybody else is watching. So just be warned, if you're watching this at a later point in time, I'm just going to be adjusting the volume at every step of the way so it doesn't become too much of an issue. But you're going to hear a lot of things that will probably peak very, very loudly depending on how high I go. But I will have another situation up. I'll just have the notepad up so it'll be easier for me to kind of scale what kind of attacks I have. I'm going to provide a bit of context too. My mecha's name is called Palisades, or Palisade. Just like the kind of pointy encampment spear that's used to defend certain territories. Because in lore, I am pretty much the commander of a defense unit, an interdimensional defense unit that is stationed in between the dimension of the human world and the VTuber world, and making sure that nothing gets in the way or nothing gets out to cause a lot of trouble for it. I'm practically stuck in the middle. Squeeze in the middle, smack dab in the middle. Squeezed in the middle, smack dab in the middle. And if you remember that song, you are old. Like me. But yeah, my mech currently, since I just started my story, is kind of bare bones, with the exception of an interesting weapon on its back, or holstered on its back. And you're gonna notice whenever I do certain pauses, it's just to kind of give a bit of a tempo as to what kind of action I'm doing. So I'll just list things out. In fact, let me just do this now and switch over to the desktop. Okay. Yeah, mecha name is Palisade. I won't go into too much of the details as to like more of the specifics like design and whatnot. But armaments. There are natural armaments or innate armaments, and there are optionals. So let's start with the softball stuff. So we have Ed Vulcans. And head Vulcans are usually like the very simple, very, very simple, should be like practically easy bake oven kind of delivery. But since they're also like the fastest attack that one can use, it's usually going to be associated with someone not being able to flee away because of how fast the attack comes out. Okay, so we got Head Vulcans. A Heat Spike, which I'm going to explain a little bit later, but it's going to be in relevance to another weapon that I have. Let me just type this out so it's easier. But basically, what the heat spike is it's a pike, really. But it's also part of a certain weapon that I have onto the palisade. It's also part of that. Then we have. I'm just gonna also be making stuff up on the go too, because I guess that's the best way in order to kind of branch out a little bit. Because I know Super Robot Wars doesn't have certain kinds of weapons, mostly burst fire weapons. You know, not a lot of mecha series have like burst fire weapons outside, say. No, wait, it's either like single fire or burst fire in some cases. I'm just also fiddling around with my. There we go. All right. Okay. So yeah, this just could be me bullshitting, but it is in relevance to my mech and in my universe. So yeah. So we have Head Vulcan's Heat Spike. M75B Burstfire Rifle. Of course, I'm not going to say the whole name, but Burstfire Rifle is going to be the one thing that's just going to come to mind. This is optional, but this is standard issue for my mech, apparently. I say apparently because, lore-wise, I don't know that much about the Palisade other than the name and the armaments that it has. Now we get to the more fun stuff. The revolving stake launcher is a left-handed weapon. And why it relates to the heat spike? Well, the heat spike is pretty much the secondary, and it's pretty much the armament, the ammo for the revolving stake launcher. Think of it like the spear launches that both Amatsu Mina, well, both Amatsu and Blitz Gundam have. It's similar to that, however, it's a different kind of caliber that it uses. And if anything, it could also modify the spikes so they can be either detonated manually, timed, or it could just be simple piercing weapons, kind of like a javelin launcher. And they're propelled at such high speeds that it'll be able to pierce even the thickest of armor. But at the same time, I could take out that spike and use it as a melee weapon as well. It'll serve a bit less. It'll serve a bit of the same purpose, maybe less effectively since it's not being propelled. But a little bit of willpower and a little bit of force can do a lot more wonderful things in that. Next up, Blitz Magnum. It's just like the Jet Magnum, but it can do a whole lot more, including projection. And it's on the right arm of the unit. So this is what. Oh, I almost forgot. I almost forgot. This would be considered natural, since it's just also kind of found onto the unit itself. And I don't have a design of it yet, but I will in the future. Hopefully, we'll get to that point. I will probably have like some sort of working design in the future. Just need to find like someone that could actually do mecha designs. And making a detail sheet for mechas is going to be a very interesting direction to go for because, well, depending on what you want, you kind of have to borrow a few things in order to get a good design philosophy. Otherwise, it's just gonna come out as like a mishmash of whatever the fuck that just came to mind, and it just never really looks proper until you actually hash out the design and think about it in great detail, how it's gonna all come together. And that's gonna be a challenge for me too. Even though I am a bit of a mecha fan, it's still a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a departure, but I would also say it's a, how would I put it? It's gonna be a tough sell to really figure out something in mind. So I may have to use games like Mass Diver to probably workshop the design. Because let's face it, there's a lot of designs that could actually fit in Super Robot Wars pretty easily. It's that it's that kind of property. Anything can fit, even the most outlandish designs could work. But if you can actually propel itself, if you actually propel it to a too cool for school kind of direction, then you should be fine. You should absolutely be fine. So let me also put this here. Because this is also going to give a good idea as to what I plan on doing. Now that we have the weapons in mind, we have a good idea of the hierarchy. And I will also give a good breakdown as to what I'm trying to go for. So, attacks. Head Vulcan. Heat Spike Thrust. Burst Fire Rifle. Revolving stick launcher. Thunder Blitz. Ragnar Rifle. Condensed Fire. And excuse me. I don't have the ability to mute my audio interface, so if I let out some wicked sneezes, I apologize. And also, I might be ending the stream a little bit early because I have to leave for work pretty early too. Something did come up, so I'm pretty much needed, and puts us a nice little bit of overtime. But yeah, when I probably come back, I'll probably do more of these. Maybe either tomorrow or whenever I get the chance to pick back up. All right, now, since we are kind of starting out, there are going to be a few things to kind of keep in mind. The hierarchy may not be as representative here up until you reach maybe the revolving stake launcher. That's where you have a bit more garnish, a lot more stuff to pretty much play around with. But stuff like the head Vulcan and the burst fire rifle, those are going to be the ones that have the most generic lines associated with them. And speaking of which, generic lines. Doesn't matter who I'm facing, doesn't matter what I'm facing, I'm always going to say them no matter what. Just like with, just like in Super Robot Wars in nature. When you start seeing like specific lines, it's usually in response to a certain event that happened or a certain character that one character has interacted with. But if you want to find out more about me, you're going to have to read my story. But enough dilly-dallying. I think I've BS a bit long enough. So, I'm going to start off with the generic lines, mostly coming in, or yeah, mostly incoming stuff. Then, when we get to it, to more of the nitty-gritty stuff, then we start having a little bit of fun. So, I'm going to switch over to Audacity. Dark Audacity. And let's mod it, test it works. Yes, it works. Though I do have the misfortune of having the air conditioning running in the background, but I don't want to cook to death either. And it's kind of hard for me to get like a nice little voice acting setup going, but I do what I can. Let me just adjust a few things a little bit so it's a bit easier for me to kind of bypass that. Okay. So let's just make sure that we are nice and situated. And we're going to start with the generic lines first. Or rather, generic incoming lines. No, 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 no. Yeah, I probably should have thought this out a little bit more. But yeah. First, we got two incoming lines that I have in mind. Then defend, evade, support attack, support defend, and there. Simple. All right. So, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Ah, so this is who we're dealing with. Might as well kick them out while I still can. And let me meet that. And let's... I know there's a way to add tracks while you're recording. But I think that's mostly through like Sony Vegas they can do that with. I got a lot of hopes riding on me. No, let me see. I think I can do better than that. I can't afford to lose now. I got a lot of hopes riding on me. And another one. Just 3 of them will do. What would be a good way in order to... Oh, yeah. I also have some other things, too. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me with the finer adjustments. Understood. Roger. All right. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me with the finer adjustments. Understood. Roger. Yeah, I have that little click in that. But, well, let me redo it. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me with the finer adjustments here, okay? Understood. Roger. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me with the finer adjustments here, okay? Understood. Roger. Now I can kind of understand why some people have like different lines associated, but this is just like a bit of a concept. But one more time, if I could do it without having to click too much, I might be able to make it a better result. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me out with the finer adjustments here. Understood. Roger. Oh, I mixed the voices together. Whoops. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me out with the finer adjustments here. Understood. Roger. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me with the finer adjustments here. Understood. Oh, damn it, it did it again. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me with the finer adjustments here. Okay? Understood. Roger. Hey, Ace, Palisade, help me with the finer adjustments here. Okay? Understood. Roger. And now there's that two-tone. There's that two-tone I've been looking for. All right, now that should be good. Now let's get to the... Actually, defense by proxy is also damage taken too. But it's a I think there's like different lines associated with that. Okay, now let's now I think there's like a good barometer between certain attacks that were nullified or certain attacks that didn't do a whole lot of damage. So maybe. Gotta think this over. Hmm. Okay, maybe just scale the damage out. Usually when it's like a certain threshold, they have special lines kind of brushing it off. So low damage threshold, moderate damage threshold, and high. And we're gonna do like 2 lines for each. Yeah, 2 lines for each. All right, let's mute that. If you call that mosquito bite an attack, then I feel sorry for the person that sent you. If you call that mosquito bite an attack, then I feel sorry for the person that sent you. Maybe a little bit more vavoom could. Yeah. You call that mosquito bite an attack? Man, I must. Oh shit. Let's try again. You call that mosquito bite? Oh. You call that mosquito bite an attack? Well, I feel sorry for whoever sent you. You call that mosquito bite an attack? Well, I feel sorry for whoever sent you. And then. Ace, damage report. No damages. Nope. Let me. Ace, what's the damage report? No damage of significance. Hardly anything to worry about. Ace, what's the damage report? No damage of significance. Hardly anything to worry about. There we go. Maybe I could throw in one more. Because these tend to be the fun ones in order to really throw into the mix. These tend to be the fun ones to throw into the mix. If you're trying to break this shield, then you gotta try a lot harder than that. Just saying. If you're trying to break through this shield, you're gonna try a lot harder than that. Just saying. If you're trying to break If you're trying to break through this shield, you're gonna try a lot harder than that. Let me try delivery. Oh. If you're trying to break through this living shield, you're gonna have to try a lot harder than that, buddy. If you're trying to break through this living shield, you're gonna have to try a lot harder than that, buddy. There we go. Now let's throw in a new one. I gotta find a. Let me see. No shortcut for stereo track. All right. Moderate damage. Let me change this up. Now, yeah, I got an idea. Man, this thing ain't made out of tougher stuff. Man, this thing ain't made out of tougher stuff. Maybe just the delivery of that could be a bit better. Could be. But how would I actually? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I got something. Yowza! That hurts. That really hurts. Yowza! No. That sounds way. Ah! God damn! That hurt a lot harder than I expect. Ah! God damn! That hurt a lot harder than I expect. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I think I got it. I think that sounds a little bit better. Hmm. Ow! God damn it! Jeez, this thing's arm is not as tough as I thought. Ow! Damn it! No. Wow, 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 wow! Damn it, this thing's arm is not tough as I thought. Ow, wow, 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 wow! Damn it, this thing's arm is not tough as I thought. I'm skipping through. I think the second line that I did was pretty good. Could be a little bit better, but I think it's just a matter of getting that delivery down so it's not as weird in terms of like the pacing of it. But once I do get that down pat, it should come out a little bit better. Oh, better yet. God damn! Man, this one has some claws. God damn! Man, this one has some claws. Ah! God damn! This one's got some teeth. Ah! God damn! This one's got some teeth. Alright, next up. Hmm. Because if we kind of translate this into like Japanese, this would definitely have yabe written all over it. Yeah, bitch. Kind of like that. Hmm. Another line for moderate damage. It's a pretty rough amount of damage. Don't worry, Palisade. I'm gonna give you some 10-11 care after this. That's a pretty rough amount of damage. Don't worry, Palisade. I'm gonna give you some 10-11 care after this. It's a rough amount of damage. Don't worry, Palisade. You're gonna get some 10-11 care after this. Ooh, that's a rough amount of damage. Don't worry, Palisade. You're gonna get some 10-11 care after this. Alright. And I guess to also be a little fair, let's just throw in a third moderate damage line. And then we can move on to the destruction or shoot downs. Or heavy damage. Okay. No. And this is just going to be another line involving Ace as well. All integrity compromise. Oh, nope. Oops. Wrong line. The wrong track. All integrity compromised. Advise extreme caution. Yeah, I know that. We gotta pull through. All integrity compromised. Advise extreme caution. Yeah, I know that. We gotta pull through. Okay. Maybe we can actually add a little bit more volume to that. All integrity compromised. Exercise extreme caution. Yeah, I know that. But we gotta pull through no matter what. All integrity compromised. Exercise extreme caution. Yeah, I know that. But we gotta pull through no matter what. Alright. Now moving to heavy damage. And this is where I get to a bit more screaming territory. Uh, Either screaming or shouting territory. So, I do advise if you are listening on the side, I recommend turning your volumes down because this is where it gets loud. All right, 3, 2, 1. And let me start monitoring too. Ah! Not here. I ain't even thinking about that. Ah! Not here. I ain't even thinking about that. Okay, let's do another heavy damage track. Do 3. And then we can move on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No. There's a lot of smoke in the cockpit. I'm not gonna die here, though. Not now. There's a lot of smoke in the cockpit. I'm not gonna die here, though. Not now. And we got another ace line. So we can mix that in. Situation is looking critical. I advise eject. No. Yeah. Situation critical. I advise ejection immediately. Situation critical. Advise immediate ejection. Situation critical. Advise immediate ejection. Hmm. Or better yet. Yeah. Let's combine the two. It's just something I had in mind. Situation is critical. Advise immediate ejection. I'm not done yet. Situation is critical. Advise immediate ejection. I'm not done yet. Okay. So that's heavy damage lines right there. All right, now we can move on to support attacks. So we're making relatively good progress here. You're making relatively good progress in this. And also making good time considering I'm leaving a little bit, maybe in an hour or so. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so let's think of something. I'll start with integer. Laying down prevent. Yeah. I'll start with integer at your service. Laying down suppressing fire. I'll start with integer at your service. Laying down suppressing fire. All right. I do have like the first part down right, but maybe second part I could probably think of something a little bit more zany, something a little bit more pizzazz. Because by proxy, I'm a bit of a handyman. Taking on all missions that pay the bills. I'll start with integer at your service. You can worry about the invoice later. I'll start with integer at your service. You can worry about the invoice later. I could do that delivery much better than that. Thank you for choosing Delphinium Services. I'm I'll start with integer, and you don't have to worry about the invoice until later. No. Odd star for integer. At your service. Handyman at the ready. Or, no, I could do better than that. Odd star for integer. At your service. And don't worry about the bill. Later. No. Odd star for integer. At your service. And you don't have to worry about the bill either. Odd star for integer. At your service. And you don't have to worry about the bill either. I feel like it could. I think the invoice sounded a little bit better in characterization. Odd star for integer at your service. You don't have to worry about the invoice yet. Odd star for integer at your service. You don't have to worry about the invoice yet. Alright, then another one. Yep. Then next up, support attack 2. Delphinium always lends a helping hand to those in need. Delphinium always lends a helping hand to those in need. Okay. Yeah, that works. Alright, next up, we can do support defend. 1 and 2. Hmm. I may not look it, but my palisade is made out of tougher stuff. I may not look it, but my palisade is made out of tougher stuff. And another one. Have no fear, your knight in dusty armor has arrived. I had to throw that in too. Have no fear, your knight in dusty armor has arrived. I had to throw that in too. You know what? Better yet. Have no fear. Your knight in dusty armor has arrived. I guess I need to clean you up then. Or better yet. Have no fear. Your knight in dusty armor has arrived. I need to get a better paint job. Have no fear. Your knight in dusty armor has arrived. It almost sounds like I'm saying arm instead of armor. Have no fear, your knight in dusty armor has arrived. Though, I could go for a cleanup. Have no fear, your knight in dusty armor has arrived. Though, I could go for a cleanup. Alright, that's good, that's good. Alright, now next up, more tracks. This time is for evasions. I think maybe 2 or 3 lines would do. Two or three would do. Yeah, 2 or 3 lines would do, and I guess after that point, I'm probably gonna have to do like the attack names a little. I might have to do the attacks before like a part 2. If I don't get to them fast enough. Dodge that one with the skin of my teeth. Dodge that one with the skin of my teeth. Man, I dodged that one with the skin of my teeth. Man, I dodged that one with the skin of my teeth. Oh, we could just keep it simple. That was way too close for comfort. That was way too close for comfort. Yep, then we can move on to the next one. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Down here. Hmm. Hmm. I think I got something. Hey, are you even trying? I mean, if that's all you got, then I can give you a new hobby too. Hey, are you even trying? I mean, if that's all you got, then I can give you a new hobby too. And I guess I gotta sting with this one. Hey, now I know it's official. You actually suck. Hey, now I know it's official. You actually suck. Yeah, just kind of digging the skin a little bit. And we can go with the destruction. Or being shot down. It says the no. I guess it's the end of the road for me. I guess it's the end of the road for me. All right. Mission's a failure. It's an absolute foobar. Mission's a failure. It's an absolute foobar. No, that doesn't make sense. Mission's a failure. Situation is foobar. Mission's a failure. Situation is foobar. sorry, everyone. Ah! That's well too much. Ah! I'm sorry, everyone. Ah! I'm sorry, everyone. Yeah. Yeah. This works out. So we actually covered pretty much the first half of what we wanted to do. So I'm gonna switch over. Gonna save the file. And I'm gonna make a new folder. Because I think it would be a proper time for me to just end the stream right here. And I don't have to worry about too much else after that. So I will do maybe a part 2 of the stream and do the attack names after the attacks. And we'll go from there. But to anybody that's probably going to be watching the VOD or anything else, thank you for stopping by or for sticking around and just humoring my little project. I do expect to do more of these in the future, so if you like what you see here, do give me a subscribe, comment, and all that jazz. Okay? Y'all be good, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm also going to be streaming on Twitch for the rest of the days, mostly for Yakuza 7, and finishing up my Guest Divine Kai, and also trying to get past fucking Wonderlo. And I know that's not going to be the end of the shitstorm, too. So, if anything, I will have my social media stuff and other channels and avenues available in the video description. And I'm out here. Peace out, everybody.